Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
Saksham Dutta.
So in today's video, we will be talking about Russian Revolution, and now I would like to introduce to my guests Nishant, Utkarsh, Arsh, and Atulya. So now I will be talking about what is Russian Revolution. So the Russian Revolution of 1917 was a momentous event in world history marked by two revolutions and a civil war that led to efforts of the former Russian Empire to abdicate its monarchy and embrace a socialist form of government. This period began during the First World War, drastically changing the country's political and social structure, and it includes an overview of the significant chapter in Russia's history. Now, Utkarsh will be talking about the age of social change.
So, in the age of social change, not everyone in Europe wanted a complete transformation. Some of them were conservatives, while others were liberals or radicals. I'll let Nishant talk about who the conservatives were.
Thank you. The conservatives were people who resisted change. However, after the revolution, they started to accept change, provided that it was slow, had links, and respected the past. Now I'll pass it to Saksham to talk about the liberals.
So, the liberals, they wanted a nation which tolerated all religions. They argued for an elected parliamentary government subject to laws interpreted by a well-trained judiciary that was independent of rulers and officials, and they were not Democrats. Now, I would like Atulya to talk about who were the radicals.
So the radicals were a group of people who wanted a nation in which the government was based in a majority of the country's population. And although they weren't necessarily against the existence of private property, they disliked the concentration of the property in the hands of a few. Now Arsh will talk about industrial society and social change.
So this was a time of economic and social change. Men, women and children were pushed into factories for low wages. Most of the factory owners were often liberals and radicals, and they felt that workers' efforts must be encouraged.
Yes.
Now Utkarsh will be talking about the coming of socialism to Europe.
So, when socialism came to Europe, socialists were against private property. They had different visions of the future, and some even believed in cooperatives.
Oh,
Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels added that industrial society was capitalist. So now I'll let Nishant talk about the support for socialism.
By the 1870s, socialist ideas had spread through Europe.
Yes.
Workers, both in England and Germany, began associations to fight for better living and working conditions.
Yes.
I'd also like to talk about the economy and the society during the Russian Empire.
Interesting.
About 85% of the Russian Empire's population earned their living from agriculture.
85. Wow.
The industry was limited in number. Workers were divided
85.
into groups, but they did unite to strike work when they were dissatisfied. Peasants had no respect for nobility, very unlike the French peasants.
The Russian peasants were the only peasant community which pooled their land and their commune divided it. Now, Atulya will be saying about socialism in Russia.
yeah, I got it.
So in Russia, before 1914, all political parties were actually illegal. However, in 1900, the Russian Socialist Democratic Labour Party was formed secretly. Secretly. It struggled for the rights of peasants in land that belonged to nobles. And as land was divided among peasants periodically, it was felt that the peasants and not the workers would be the main source of the revolution.
That makes sense.
That's actually true.
Lenin did not necessarily agree with this, as he felt that the peasants were not one social group. So he divided the party into the Bolsheviks and the Mensheviks, and he led the Bolshevik group.
Wow.
Now, I will be talking about a turbulent time, the 1905 revolution. Liberals wanted to end of the autocracy of the Tsar. They worked towards demanding a constitution during the revolution of 1905. Now, I would like Utkarsh to talk about Bloody Sunday.
Oh, bloody Sunday. This was a bad time. In 1904, the prices of essential goods rose so quickly that real wages, which means relatively the wages, declined by 20%.
20%! Oh my god!
Yes.
That's
So
insane.
sticky wages.
So when four members of the,
2-0.
yes.
What a Sunday.
So when four members of the Putilov Iron Works were dismissed, Then there was a call for industrial action.
Oh.
And I want to let Arsh talk about the major result of the Bloody Sunday.
Yeah. The massacre was followed by a series of strikes in other cities,
Yes.
peasant uprisings in the country, and mutinies in the armed forces, which seriously threatened the Tsarist regime and became known as the Revolution of 1905s.
Which is the Russian Revolution.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Revolution of the 1905s.
Thanks for watching. Bye. Do like, share, and subscribe to Saksham Dutta podcast.
Bye bye.